What's up, guys? This is my response to Alex and Simon's latest Twitter debacle fight that happened yesterday. So I'm going to play it, pause it, let you know what I think about everything.
Alex Mashinsky in the house.
Alex, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so hi guys. First, united we win, divided we fall. And echoing what other people have said about sticking together. So anyone who's trying to get you to do something else or promises you stuff somewhere else, I guarantee you that will result in less than all of us sticking together and getting out of this together. Whatever the solution is, together we will get more than divided. Now,
So Alex is basically taking a jab at Simon. Kind of what he said in the previous time they got on Twitter together. Simon purchased Salt Lending in order to take people away from Celsius and into his new company, Salt Lending. And Alex is saying, we got to stick together. Alex is using words like, community, sticking together. We got this as a family, that type of emotional communication that he has used on the AMAs for years.
question to Simon. Simon, are you a lawyer? Because you talk like a lawyer, like you keep giving legal advice to everybody here.
I'm not a lawyer. It's just in building this business.
Great. Did you see that? What's his name? This lawyer that represents the lending guys corrected himself and posted saying, "I apologize. I did not mean to say that Alex and Daniel stated that their equity is worthless." Did you see that?
So Alex is referring to David Adler, who did, I remember from my memory, actually say, these statements of worthlessness that I covered as well. Basically, there were these motions that got filed in Stretto that said, hey, all of our equity is worthless. David actually did go back on that and say, no, he was incorrect, and it does not mean that all of our equity is worthless. Alex is commenting on what Simon said a little bit before this video started about all of the equity that Simon has in Celsius Network is now worthless. So Simon is saying that he is only supporting and only rooting for and only acting in the creditor's best interest, meaning us, you, not equity holders. So that's the argument that Alex is bringing up, saying, no, actually, your equity is not worthless, by the way, Simon, so you could be acting in the equity's best interest, in your best interest.
Alex, did you email me telling me that I have to go to the investment bank and introduce me to the
Don't
investment
change
bank?
the subject.
Alex, did you come on Did you come and
Simon,
say that the UCC
it's
was
very
process?
simple. It's very simple. Yes or no? Did you see the email that he posted?
Alex, did you
Minty,
give me
same rules again,
permission?
please. One at a time.
Did you give me permission to publish the email?
The point.
Sorry, guys. Okay, let's let Alex just finish his point, and then Simon, please, you'll have it. Okay.
So Alex is basically trying to get Simon to say a yes or no answer to something, and then Simon is basically like, hey, Alex, all these other things that you've denied, all these other incriminating things that I know that you have done, Alex, have you done these things, right? So it immediately begins to be this like volleyball back and forth, kind of like asking questions of each other, and this continues. It does heat up.
No one has said that the equity is worthless. Okay, the opposite. These are required documents that every shareholder has to file, or at least principals have to file. Okay, and again, misleading the community, giving them wrong information.
Alex, do I have your permission to publish?
No, I'm not finished talking. Okay, there's a million things I can publish about you too, but I don't do that. Okay,
Alex,
so
do I have your permission to show that you emailed me the exact opposite of what you came on and told the community, and you lied to the community again after lying in every AMA?
All right.
Wow, heating up, isn't it?
Great. Is that your legal opinion, or is that just your personal opinion?
Well, do I have permission to publish the emails that proves that you lied when you came back?
Simon, you can publish whatever you want. Okay.
Okay, so I have permission to publish those emails, and you won't file recourse.
I'll publish all the emails also about how you misrepresented stuff when we were dealing with this Bank to the Future. You give me permission to publish all of that, including the emails from May this year.
What emails are those?
An email from you in May of this year. Can I publish that?
What is the email?
You send it to me, so you know what it is. Let me
publish I don't know what
right
it
now.
is.
Oh, really? Look it up.
All right, so nothing's getting done here, obviously. It is it is both of them with a lot of animosity towards each other. We have Simon saying, hey, Alex, do you give me permission to share all the crap that you sent me that misled me, misled my investors, misled Bank to the Future into maybe giving you more money? Do you give me permission to release everything you've ever sent me that would make you look like an idiot? Is essentially what Simon is saying, right? Do you give me permission to release everything that would make you look silly right now? And Alex said, yeah, release it. And then Simon's like, okay, you give me permission. And before Alex could say, yes, I officially give you permission, because I guess this stuff is classified, not classified, but it's, maybe under an NDA, or it's them both talking about their business. So you can't just start releasing all this information. Then Alex is like, do you give me permission to release what you sent me back in May about Bank to the Future, that you were lying as well? And then Simon's like, what email? And Alex is like, you sent it. Go check. You know what email.
Point is, this is not an argument with you. This is about getting the best outcome for everybody. Okay?
Yeah, Alex, how much did you invest into the ICO, and did you repay that loan?
I can't answer any of these questions right now. All of that is public information. Okay? So if you have any questions, again, the UCC and everybody else will be publishing all that information for everybody to see. There's no secrets. Okay? The issue
did you ever repay that loan?
You keep redirecting, Simon. You keep redirecting. You're not answering any question that anyone is posting. Redirecting.
So it sounds like Simon knows a lot of stuff about Alex, about the ICO, about loans he took, all sorts of stuff that he is not sharing because he's under an NDA, or it would be illegal to share this information. So Simon is like, Alex, can I share all this information about you? And Alex is like, you keep redirecting. I'm trying to ask you a simple question about, do you know that the equity is not worthless? So we're just going back and forth. These guys do not like each other.
Okay. So again, the filings by me and Daniel are not in any way saying that the equity is worthless. Okay. In no way is that what it's saying.
Okay, awesome. So Alex, how are you going to make our equity worth something?
So Simon just asked, Alex, how are you going to make our equity worth something?
As stated before, we submitted a plan to the UCC. You guys are all represented by the UCC. You need to ask them to tell you what's going on.
And I just want to pause here really quick and go to this slide. So Alex said, we submitted a plan to the UCC. You guys are all represented by the UCC. You need to ask them to tell you what's going on, right? We just heard that from Alex. And that was asked yesterday, or actually today, the 23rd in the morning. And this is a message that somebody received from the UCC on the 21st. So that was 2 days ago. So that was like 2 days or a day before Alex and Simon are having this conversation. And here is the sentence that I want to read to you. It says here, no Chapter 11 plan has been proposed as of this time. Once a Chapter 11 plan has been filed, account holders and the unsecured creditors will have an opportunity to review it and can have an opportunity to vote to accept or reject that plan. When a Chapter 11 plan is filed, it will be available on the debtor's website, so on Stretto, where you can access all the pleadings filed in the bankruptcy case for free, etc., etc. So when a plan is filed, it will be available for me to make a video about. But again, here, they said no Chapter 11 plan has been proposed as of this time. Now, this is coming from Kroll. You can see right here, they are representing the UCC in kind of their email correspondence. And going back to what Simon just said, we submitted a plan to the UCC. So, again, this email did come out about 2 days or a day before they had this talk. So maybe this is like a canned response email, and they haven't updated their response to people asking about a plan. I don't know, but it is kind of funny that somebody had this. That definitely does not make Alex look like he filed a plan. But again, we could be wrong, and maybe they just have not updated this email, though. Let's get back to the Twitter Spaces.
So are you favoring equity holders over creditors right now?
No, not at all.
So how does our equity become valuable when then it owes so much to our creditors?
We submitted a plan. Do you have a plan? You don't have anything.
Again, Alex says, we submitted a plan, and 2 days prior, you can see they sent an email to somebody saying no Chapter 11 plan has been proposed.
So if you have a plan, submit a plan. Otherwise,
I'm following the process, Alex, and you know it.
Following the process is submitting a plan.
Who do I submit the plan to?
The UCC.
No, Alex, answer that. Who do I submit the plan to?
If you want to buy something, then you go to the bankers. If you want to solve the problem, you go to the UCC.
So Alex says if you want to buy something, you go to the bankers. So that's what Alex is saying Simon wants to do. He doesn't want to submit a plan to the UCC. He's going directly to the bankers to buy Celsius's assets on the cheap in this bear market. This is Alex's perspective. Simon is degrading and lowering the value of Celsius by making it seem like it has no value. We're going to get 30 cents on the dollar. The mining is worthless, etc., so he can go to the investment bankers and buy it for cheap. This is Alex's perspective of what Simon is doing. Simon is saying he's always done everything in the proper way for Chapter 11. Going to the investment bankers is what Simon says is the proper protocol for what needs to happen. And I just want to pause here really quick, take a look at this tweet, basically asking David Adler, can an investor or creditor share their plan publicly before the debtor exclusivity ends in Chapter 11, so that 120 days of exclusivity that Celsius has? And essentially, David Adler says, I would not recommend it. Read this case about legal issues that could arise. So David Adler is saying, as long as that exclusivity period is still intact, which it is, an investor or creditor should not publicly share their plan. I just want to put that out there as we continue.
Told me that I need to go to the bankers rather than the UCC.
Simon, come on, okay? You keep misrepresenting things, okay? And everybody
Alex,
knows it.
What do you, Alex?
You just said it. I lied on every email.
Did you know that there was a hole when you called me and told me everything was fine?
Did you know there was a hole when you called and told me everything is fine? Simon asked Alex.
Alex, did you know that there was a hole when you told me to put more of my clients' retirement funds in your platform?
And this is the first time I've heard Simon kind of get worked up live. You know, his voice is getting a little bit emotional, which he's usually very, very professional and very detached, but in like a good way. This is the first time I'm hearing him getting kind of pissed off or emotional talking.
Did you know there was a hole?
I cannot respond to any of these things because of the process, and all that information will become available.
So you understand that there's very compromising questions, right, that you put me through.
I cannot speak anymore, okay?
Alex, do you think it would have been good to give an apology to people rather than coming in and trying to make accusations last time you were on a call? And
the only person who made accusation was you. You just said I lied on every
Alex,
email.
do you think you owe the community an apology?
I'm ready to apologize, okay? I'm waiting for lawyers to give me permission to apologize.
I'm waiting for lawyers to give me permission to apologize. Now, I'm not surprised by that. That's a legal thing. Basically, apologizing could admit guilt, and that is something that unfortunately has to go through the lawyers. But wow, it's powerful to hear that. And again, this is a heated discussion. You know, Simon and Alex, they are not the best of buddies.
Okay, I think that would go a long way.
So why don't you guys just work together, Alex and Simon? I mean, Alex has his pros, you know. Simon, you have your pros. Leave the negatives out. Why don't you guys just work together?
Okay, well, I'll answer that question. Maybe Alex can answer. Alex, do you think there's a chance that regulators allow you to run this company in the future?
This is not about me. This is about a plan that works for everyone. Okay?
Yeah, do you think it would be more beneficial
You're the only one who's making it about me. Everybody else here is about a plan. Look at the title of this. Look at the title of the session. It's about a plan for recovery. So you want to talk
Alex,
about that?
Did I come and give you a plan and present it before this went into Chapter 11?
And Simon is referring to the plan he most likely did with Bitfinex, which ironically is part of the leaked audio that we heard Nuke talk about with the IOUs and the wrap tokens. But I believe that's what Simon is referring to. Did I come to you with a plan before Chapter 11?
Did I give you a plan, Alex?
And I believe Alex just went to listener mode right here. Next to him is like another account, but the official one is the one with the blue check mark.
I think Alex went down. I think he was catching a little bit of heat there. Simon, anyway, you're up here, so you did say that you were about to leave. Did you have any kind of closing thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to say that if I end up buying assets on the cheap at the expense of creditors, then feel free to call me the biggest dick in the world, and it won't get past the creditors. There's just no chance that that's going to happen. And so hold me to my words. From day one, I said depositors first. What I meant to say was creditors first when I understood the lingo. And if I end up doing anything that ends up with me benefiting from cheap assets at the expense of creditors, then hold me accountable. Don't ever use any of my services and troll me for the rest of your life.
I just want to end it there. That's huge. Simon basically said, if I end up buying assets for the cheap at the expense of us creditors, never use my services, call me out on it, and basically never let me forget that I lied to you. So this is recorded. So essentially what he's referring to is Alex's accusation that Simon wants to force things into Chapter 7 or basically buy the assets, the Celsius assets, the mining, maybe the GK8, the loans, all the different assets. He wants to buy it for cheap, right? He's trying to devalue the company to buy the assets for cheap. And Simon basically says, if I ever do that, if I buy the assets for cheap at the expense of the creditors, basically, I'm going to buy your claims for 30 cents on the dollar or something horrible like that, that would screw the creditors. You can never use my services and never let me forget it and share that with everybody that I'm a lying piece of crap. It's basically what Simon said. So basically, that's it for this little back and forth. It was a lot of asking questions at each other with not much actually getting done. And I shared this in my last video, but Simon did say that you don't need licenses to give back coins in Chapter 7, but you do in Chapter 11 if you construct an IOU security. So that's another criticism of Simon. Basically, Simon wants to buy Salt Lending so then he can move Celsius customers over to Salt Lending and then maybe devalue Celsius even more and buy the assets for cheap. And again, Simon says, if I ever do that, don't let me forget it, and you can screw me for the rest of your life, essentially. And why I shared this tweet from David Adler about he would not recommend people publicly sharing their plan before the exclusivity period ends is because that's another criticism that Simon always gets. Like, hey, when can we see your plan? Why can't we see your plan? For example, Otis has been asking him for months, what's your plan, Simon? What's your plan? What do you want to do for the community? How do we not know you are just fighting for yourself? How can we trust you? How can we trust that you're looking out for us, for our best interests? And David Adler, a freaking lawyer, said, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. Until the exclusivity period ends, I wouldn't recommend anybody publicly sharing a plan. Basically what he said. So guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to catch the latest Celsius Network updates, including the drama, but also the facts and everything that you need to do in this case. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.